Hello everybody, welcome to my DCTV recap where I'm going to be talking about Gotham, Supergirl, The Flash, and Arrow, the highlights of each of the episodes. And then I'm going to tell you what I thought was the best episode of the week and the worst or the least best episode of the week. I don't like saying worst because I usually enjoy most of the episodes of all these shows. The lowest score I'd probably give an episode is like 5 or 6 out of 10. Just because I can always find something to enjoy about an episode. You know, I'm rarely very disappointed, or there's not an episode that makes me hate an episode. I can always, there's my least favorite seasons or my least favorite episodes, but there's not episodes that I can say that I hate, with a passion. Maybe I think I'm passionate about these shows. I can find things to enjoy even on its weakest episodes. So let's get right into this. Let's talk about the first show on our list, Gotham Season 3, Episode 19, All Will Be Judged. And this was a good episode. The highlight for me, though, in this one was definitely the Penguin and Enigma stuff. They were both in prison, and they both, clearly hate each other because of their more recent situations in the past, especially when Enigma tried to kill Penguin. But they had to put that aside in order to escape from prison, and they did that. And that was some of the stuff I really enjoyed, a lot more than the stuff with Bruce that's going on right now and the Court of Owls stuff, which have been slowing down the show a little bit. Actually, it picked up a little bit in this episode when Alfred finally realized that the Bruce that he's had in his home for a while now is actually a clone, is not the real Bruce. So finally some action is being taken there. But so hopefully this is starting to, because it's episode 19, maybe it's starting to wind up for the finale, because there's only 3 more episodes left. So it just starts to wrap up your story arc for this season and start setting up whatever you're planning for next season. But yeah, the Penguin and Enigma stuff, I'd say, was the big highlights for me. Next, we have Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 22, Nevertheless, She Persisted. I almost screwed up on that title. This was the finale of the season of Supergirl, and we got a huge Superman versus Supergirl fight, which was really cool. It was very short at the same time, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. And I thought it was really cool. And Supergirl beating him, if you didn't expect that, come on. I hope people aren't angry that Supergirl beats Superman. It is her show, so let her have the win on this one. And I think even Superman took it as an honor that his younger cousin, or older cousin, depending on how you look at it, beat him in the battle, since he was going apeshit insane. Someone had to take him down. So it makes sense that the one with the clearer mind was the one that was able to do it. I was kind of let down by Zod, though. I was expecting Zod to have some big role, General Zod, because when I heard an actor was going to be playing him, I said, oh, so how's Zod going to fit into all this? I thought they were going to have to team up to go against Raina and Zod. But for the most part, no, Zod was just a hallucination, so that was kind of a letdown. But I didn't let that affect my judgment of the entire season. Obviously, we got a really cool alien invasion battle, and Kara got to go fight Terry Hatcher, Raina. Mon-El had to leave Earth. So there were a lot of really good moments in the finale of this, I felt. And Mon-El leaving, man, that was kind of heart-wrenching, man. I'm gonna admit that. The acting from both of those actors, Mon-El and Kara, Melissa Benoist, I thought that they did really good. And then the little end tease for next season, setting up whatever is going to be in that ship, whatever child they put in that ship and sending it to Earth. Someone came up that because the line, it will go to Earth and it will rain or something like that. The rain was the word that they kind of stressed there. And someone told me that there actually is a villain in the comics named Rain, a female character, a female villain. And that it actually is a Supergirl villain as well. So maybe that's what it could be. We'll have to wait and see. Next, we have The Flash, Season 3, Episode 23, Finish Line. This was my least favorite of the Flash finales. I had more time to process it and really think about it. I thought I liked Season 2's finale the least, but then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, maybe this was the weakest one. It was still a good episode, but from what you're expecting from a finale, I think you're hoping for a little bit more, especially the way they ended it. It wasn't really a great tease. It didn't really leave you on the edge of your seat wanting more, like, oh my god, I can't wait for next season, you know what I mean? It was more like, okay, here's the big thing with Savitar, we took him down, and now Barry has to go into the Speed Force for who knows how long. And we know that he'll be back next season. If the writers and the producers surprise us and they do decide to make Wally the main character, that's going to be bold. And that would be interesting. But we know Barry's coming back. Come on. You can't... Every time you switch a character on a TV show, the ratings slide deeply. Like, deeper than you already did. And I don't know if Wally is capable yet to lead a show to begin with. I mean, I always thought Wally would be more... If they ever wanted to do something with him, they could always move him to Legends of Tomorrow where he can shine a little bit more. Because I feel like that shows more of an ensemble where they're playing with multiple characters and everyone gets a taste of the spotlight. While on Flash, it's always been centered on Grant Gust and Barry Allen. And that's the way it should be. I mean, you're not watching Arrow because of Diggle or because of Felicity. I mean, they're great supporting characters, but you don't want to see them take over the show, which that could have been a problem with season 4 when some people felt it was turning more into Felicity and Friends rather than Oliver and Friends. So let's remember that. But yeah, for the most part, I guess the big highlight for me was finally taking down Savitar. I mean, the ending, the tease was fine too. Some people are actually speculating that the lightning strikes that were coming down at the very end was actually setting up for season 4. Because in the comics, apparently, something similar, I guess, happens in the comics. If someone can comment below and clarify this, go for it. And that apparently the people that got struck by the Speed Force lightning became speedsters themselves. And maybe that's a setup for next season when Barry has to take down some people with powers. So we'll find out, I guess, in season 4 how that's gonna all work out. But I will agree with people. I do want to see like at least an episode or 2 with Wally as the Flash. Like, trick us that you aren't gonna bring Grant Gustin back, even though we know you are. At least trick the audience who doesn't keep up with this stuff online, you know? Because let's face it, not everybody knows about what's going to happen or speculates what's going to happen. There's the general audience that also watches The Flash that don't understand the comics and that are just trying to follow with what they see in front of them, right? So next, the 4th show on this list, Arrow, Season 5, Episode 23, Lian Yu. Wow. Where do I even begin with this episode? This episode had a lot of highlights. You can probably guess what my favorite episode of the week was. Manu Bennett returns as Deathstroke. All this intensity going on the island. We got the flashbacks, which are finally closing the doors in this episode. We got that huge... Now, if you want a season finale to really leave you hanging for next season and wonder, oh shit, who is going to make it alive from what just happened? The island blows up with still a lot of members, as far as we know, still on that island. And I have a feeling we're going to even see a flashback next season, right in the first episode, to show us who made it off and who made it alive and who didn't. I think there will be some casualties. I think we won't see a few members next season. I don't know who. A part of me is thinking Felicity. I don't know. I think they're ready. I think they're ready to get rid of Felicity. Maybe I'm wrong. I love Felicity. I think she was great this season. So much better than season 4 Felicity. And I wasn't as hard as Felicity on other people like other people were. So that's saying something. But yeah, I think they're going to kill her off. And I think... I hope they keep Deathstroke around, Slade Wilson. Even if Manu Bennett doesn't return in the first episode next season, I hope they find a way to squeeze him in like they did in this episode. Even though you could tell sometimes they were using a body double. It was just great. And Adrian Chase, man, let me tell you, the acting in this episode was incredible. Not just from Stephen Amell, but the actor who played Adrian Chase, Josh Segarra. He was like, all this season, he was insane, especially as soon as you find out that he was Prometheus. It's like, whoa, man, this guy is like the Joker to Oliver's Batman. It was incredible. And Stephen Amell, bravo, man. I went back to watch the pilot again, and, you know, he was a good actor from the start, but where he is now... I mean, this show gives him so much to do, so much range as an actor. There was a moment when he was on the boat, and as soon as he sees William, you see the look of fear on his face, and like he was caught off guard, and it was like really good acting, right? Like, I believe that kid could have been his son, and he was worried about his son, and he was ready to do anything he could to save his son. I love Stephen Amell. I think he's amazing at what he does, and he needs to one day be on the big screen, filming big movies. Ninja Turtles, you know, I felt didn't really give him enough material to work with. And to be fair, it was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, so that was more focused on the turtles themselves rather than the human characters. But he needs to maybe get into an indie film and really showcase his talents there, and then maybe move up to the big films, you know, because I think he has star power. He definitely is a great actor with talent there that needs to be unleashed. So with that being said, let's wrap this up, guys. What was my favorite episode and my least favorite episode of the week? I'm going to say right now my least favorite episode was Gotham. Gotham, you know, the rest of these episodes are wrapping up the season, so it's easier for season finales to, I think, become better. They're not always better, but in this case, I think all 3 season finales were really good. Some just way more than others. So instead of just saying which one I like the best, I'm going to rank the 3 finales, including Legends of Tomorrow's finale. Even though that aired like weeks ago, I'm gonna add this in. So starting at number 4, I'm gonna put The Flash. Flash was the weakest finale this year, which is funny because I think last year this list would have been totally different. But yeah, unfortunately, someone has to be the last, and it turned out to be The Flash for me. Other people could be very different, and I'm always open to hearing what you guys have to say. Number 3, I'm going to put Supergirl. I thought Supergirl had a really good finale too. Just not as good as the next 2. Number 2, Legends of Tomorrow. That might surprise some people, But I really do think Legends really really stepped it up this season. I think season 2 is definitely a much stronger season than season 1, and I thought the finale ended, again, not as good as the next one, which all of you probably know, so I'll just get right to it. But it was still a good finale, Legends of Tomorrow. I thought, especially compared to Supergirl and Flash, I thought Legends had a pretty solid finale. And they left us hanging, thinking, what the F did these guys just do? With dinosaurs freaking roaming the earth in present day now. And finally, of course, no shock here, Arrow, which also has stepped up its game this season, really blew me away this season. I put season 5 right between season 2 and 1. 2 being the best season still, and 1 being third best. Season 5 was really that good. And if you were someone that dropped off at Arrow, believe me, get back in. Buy the show off iTunes. All the episodes are already up there. Buy them all, or just wait for the Blu-ray to come out. Believe me, it will be worth your money. If you are a fan of Arrow, it's going to be worth, or loan it off somebody that will buy it. Because you won't be disappointed. It was a really strong and worthy season to the Arrow series. With that being said, I'm ending this here, guys. I hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Next week, Gotham is the only show on left. It's on for 2 more weeks. Not next week, but the week after will be its 2-hour season finale. So I'm going to be doing a Gotham review of that. Next week, I'm thinking of doing a DCTV recap. I don't know yet. I guess it would make sense since Gotham is still on. And maybe what I'll do is I'll compose a list of the Arrowverse or Flareverse TV series, whichever one you prefer, from best or worst to best. I'll compile a list of all the seasons of Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow. And I'll even throw in Constantine there for good sport, because he is part of the universe as well. So with that being said, until next time, guys, take care.